The most boring there was, the most boring there is, and the most boring there ever will be. Bret the Shitman Hart is back again with another rant, with another bitter, hate-fueled speech attack on Triple H, a guy that I secretly believe Bret Hart is jealous of. He can say Triple H has never done anything great. He can say Triple H has never had a match better than 4 out of 10. He can say Triple H has never been creative or done anything new or done anything that no one before him ever did. But I mean, deep down, I think Bret Hart is jealous of Triple H, and I just don't think you can forgive him for coming up with one of the greatest things in wrestling history, and that is the Montreal Screwjob.
You're damn right, and you can go shove his 4 out of 10 up his arse, because let's be real, in my opinion, Triple H, Bret Hart has had I'd say probably about 3 or 5 great matches. I'd say Triple H has had close to, like, I mean,
30, 40.
yeah.
So, I mean,
Like, I was watching what pay-per-view was it the other day, WCW Uncensored 98, Mr. Perfect against Bret Hart. We're supposed to believe that I was near falling asleep at the sight of it. Another overrated, boring bastard, Mr. Perfect. All we need is Bret to die, and his overratedness will be through the roof.
yeah. So Bret in an interview recently with Asif Sulifaguri Ali on the 81 podcast.
That just sounds.
Are we supposed to know who this guy is? Is this some guy for Saudi Arabia? WWE let him have a podcast or something because the Saudis are paying big bucks. Never heard of him. Never heard of the 81 podcast. But anyway, Bret Hart was on there talking about the scenes and the rivalry with Shawn Michaels and Triple H in 1997. And he said, I quote, I know that Triple H and maybe even Shawn Michaels back then were pretty ruthless. If someone was tied to me or connected to me, they would try to ruin them. Even Rock, Dwayne Johnson, they really tried to crack him, really bust his chops all the time, all while I was there. I remember telling Dwayne all the time, I remember going, don't listen to these guys, don't let these guys get to you like you're a really good talent, you don't need these guys, unquote. So, again, I mean, the clique not trying to get to everybody though. The clique were just like arseholes in general. But Bret's got to make it out as if it was against him and it was Bret against the world, and when in reality it probably wasn't even like that.
He tries to make it that he's like the locker room, but he's a fucking shite bag. He didn't stand up for them as long as he had the title.
Yeah.
And I've never heard The Rock come out and say, "Oh, thanks, Bret."
Yeah, so
I know he doesn't like Michaels, but that's just because of his mother or whatever Michaels said about her, was it not?
What?
Sure, Michael said something about The Rock's mom.
Something like that, but I don't know. But anyway, Bret went on to say, quote, in fact, I wrestled, if you remember, when I did that big interview where I talked about America and how they could kiss my ass and all that, and the same night, I think maybe on next week's tapings, it was filmed that night, I wrestled The Rock in a match, wrestled Dwayne Johnson. By the way, unquote here, Bret, see the things that Bret said, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, maybe the guys took another Goldberg super kick to the head, because I'm trying to read what he said here, but it does not make a lot of sense. Anyway, I'm not.
Maybe it's that website.
Fuck the quote shit. Yeah, maybe it's a translation for this
I'll
Saudi guy. Basically, Bret Hart went on to say that they booked him in a match against Dwayne Johnson for the Intercontinental title. The Rock had just won the Intercontinental title, and they booked Bret to go over, and Bret basically refused because he said that A, he didn't need the Intercontinental title, and B, The Rock had just won it and it would make The Rock look weak, and C, Bret said that he thinks Triple H wanted him to win the Intercontinental Championship because it would keep him away from the WWE Championship, and it was all politics.
Probably.
Again, he's always, why is he seems hell bent on mentioning Triple H. Do you really think in '97 Triple H had that sort of stroke?
I know.
Like, in '97, Triple H wasn't a top. He was Shawn Michaels' lackey.
Yeah, he was yes, exactly. No, but see, I get it. See, since like the clique had left, obviously Triple H would have, like the rest of the clique had left to go to WCW. I get it. Triple H is going to rise a bit.
But I don't. No, even then, though, I think he got buried like for a year straight. So I would say Triple H in '97 had less stroke than before the whole curtain call thing. That's my opinion.
Maybe not towards the end of '97, like, but yeah, I mean the start, midway. I can't remember when The Rock won the IC title.
And then Bret went on to comment further on Triple H saying, Quote, I never thought Triple H had an original idea for anything. I always thought he was overrated. The only reason people even know him or remember him today is because his daddy-in-law put him in charge. Unquote. I mean, I think the exact same thing about Bret Hart. I don't think the guy ever had an original idea, and I always thought he was overrated.
Hold on, because
And the only reason people remember him is because he wore pink and gave kids the sunglasses.
he says because his daddy-in-law put him in charge. Is he referring to once that storyline started in '99, or is he talking about when Triple H got put in charge of the company? Because let's be real, Triple H by like 2001 is a fucking megastar.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to assume that the average household knows Triple H more than know Bret Hart, and it's not because he was in the Chaperone. I just genuinely believe that Triple H was a part of the Attitude Era.
Well, Bret was just at the start of it, and
Now people can say Bret Hart also says that Triple H is not the guy. Triple H is the guy that the guys work with. I think you could say I don't even think you could say the same about Bret Hart but that's not really an insult. I mean, if you're the guy that the top guys work with, you must be a top guy.
Yeah, you're not.
Because I mean, Vince McMahon, if you're shit, Vince McMahon ain't going to have The Rock and Austin work with shit guys. So if you're the guy that the top guys work with, you must be pretty good to be sharing the ring with the top guys. So I mean, Bret should really think before he speaks. That doesn't make any sense. Trying to bury Triple H by saying he was never the guy. He was the guy that the top guys worked with. But the top guys need a top guy to work with. So it's a top heel. Heels are not the top. Heels are not the guys. Heels are never portrayed as the guys. Top guys are always the baby faces. Who knows? Maybe if Triple H was pushed as predominantly as a face, then maybe he would have been the guy. But it's just a matter of fact that the guys, the stars, the draws, all tend to be faces.
His logic's fucking retarded. No, all it is. Triple H orchestrated the screw job, sent him WCW. He had the pishest run known to man. Goldberg ended his career. He had a stroke. He's been better ever since. That's pretty much it.
Pretty much.
Literally, Triple H and Shawn Michaels have ruined Bret Hart's life. Triple H took over the company, and Michaels has found God, so he can't really have a go at Michaels, but he can have a go at Triple H. That's the way I feel it.
Why? Because Michaels has changed.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, why? Like, yes, Triple H is the mastermind behind it, quote unquote. But why has he not got a whole more of a? Maybe because the Michaels thing's dealt with, but I don't know. Was that 2009 edition of Raw when they came out in hugs? Is that out the window?
Yeah. He says Triple H never had an original idea in his life. I think the screw job was a pretty original idea.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get more original than the fucking screw job.
Because nobody's seen it coming.
But Bret's never
especially Bret Hart.
Bret's never going to come out and say that, though. Like,
no, but I mean, I think I would actually respect Bret a bit if he went, personally, I never really rated the guy, and he never had the original idea, but I've got to give him credit. The fucking screw job was brilliant, brother.
I'd say the screw job's one of the most original ideas of all time.
See, you could potentially credit Triple H for the success he done, because the screw job kind of got the Vince McMahon character in motion, the Mr. McMahon character.
Exactly.
Here, if Triple H never comes up with that, and McMahon never screws Bret, maybe McMahon never goes on to be a TV person, a personality character. Maybe McMahon just...
You never get McMahon off.
Maybe McMahon just goes from being the commentator who went, oh my, or, what was his catchphrase
That's
again?
gotta be king.
And all that shit, maybe he goes...
Showstopper.
Maybe he just goes directly from commentator just to a backstage presence, and maybe you don't get the Mr. McMahon character, so I mean...
He was iconic on commentary, but he was awful at the same time.
Yeah, I mean... iconic voice, but I mean, it was cringy as fuck, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's no JR, that's for sure, but... I mean, personally, I take Triple H over Bret Hart every day of the week. I prefer Triple H matches, I definitely prefer Triple H promos. I mean, Bret Hart can't hold a candle to Triple H when it comes to promos. Bret Hart thinks he tells America to kiss his ass, and he calls them dirty, stinking hyenas.
Dirty, stinking hyenas.
I mean, it's not a bad line, but when he uses the line about 10 times in the same promo, it kind of loses its effect.
Start, like the first 2 weeks or so, it was good. I'll give it to Bret. But see, once you've got nothing else other than that.
Yeah, see, heel Bret. See, when they were playing up the Canada versus America thing, I can get the start. It was good. But the thing is, Bret came out every week. It comes out every week and just repeats the same shit.
I know, awful.
Oh, I hate you Americans or whatever. And Canada's the greatest. The first cut a week, but then you need to do something different, and he just basically kept coming out the same week. If I can use Bret Hart's own words, he never had an original idea. He just kept what he was saying and couldn't come up with anything new. So I mean, Bret, I think it's sad.
Heart Foundation, 4 boring bastards.
Brian Pillman to boot. I mean, fuck me.
I mean, Pillman, Neidhart, Bulldog. Oh, I mean, it's just to me, Pillman's just a fucking junkie.
See the Hart Foundation. They were just guys. They were guys that wrestled. I mean, they were not stars. They were not larger than life characters. And even fucking Neidhart wasn't a good wrestler. And Natalia can cry herself to sleep.
Like, let's be
If
real.
I think her dad sucks, but our dad was shit. He wasn't good.
No, he was awful. And see with Owen Hart, people remember for his ribs, not his matches, not his fucking.
I mean, if we're being honest, like, what great matches did Owen Hart have? I mean, he had the match for. I mean, if you see anything about Owen Hart, I think he's most known for two things: dying and paralysing Austin.
Exactly.
Now, see when I think of Austin, I don't necessarily think of Austin getting his neck broke. I think of all the great shit Austin done. And so maybe it's just fair to assume that Owen didn't really do that much good shit.
That's the bottom line.
So
I could talk about 4 hours about the fucking Hart Foundation because they're garbage guys. But at the end of the day, Triple H did the right thing.
Triple H made Bret Hart, right? I mean, I think the screw job's the only thing that keeps Bret Hart relevant. See, if Bret Hart had just walked out with the belt and went to WCW. I mean, I don't think he'd be this
I'll
big.
tell you what, I'm April of '98, and Bret Hart, he just seems irrelevant. See when he first came in though, big deal. Now he did.
See, I think Triple H kept him relevant because for all these years, people were like, "Oh, I want to see Bret going back to the WWE because of the screw job." See, the screw job never happened. Would anybody give a shit about Bret's return in 2010?
No.
Let's be real. The reason you wanted to see Bret's return in 2010 was because of the screw job. And you wanted to see how he'd get on with Shawn Michaels and Mr. McMahon. It wasn't because Bret the Hitman Hart, the greatest ever live, is coming back to WWE. Wasn't the cause of
Maybe
that?
they were talking about, we can give Bret the win in the match and he can take the title to WCW, and Triple H's like, because you haven't figured it out, there's always
A plan B, and that plan B was a screw job. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know what you think down below. Is Bret Hart the most bitter and hateful wrestler of all time? I think he is. I mean, people can say shit about Triple H and say shit about Shawn Michaels, right? But I have never seen Triple H or Shawn Michaels come out and talk shit about Bret Hart. I don't think I've ever seen I don't think I've ever seen an article. I mean, obviously, yeah, Shawn Michaels has done it a couple of times on TV, but I mean that's like kayfabe. I've never seen an article where Triple H comes out and goes, you know what, Bret? I always thought Bret was overrated, or coming up, the screw job was the right thing to get. It was best. The screw job was best for business to get the belt off Bret. I've never seen any of these guys come out, but I've never seen Shawn Michaels come out and go, you know what? I was always better than Bret, or with this or that, or anything like that. It's always Bret bringing up fucking Triple H. At the start, it was kind of Shawn Michaels, but now he's hell bent on Triple H, and I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, he's he's just pish. He's like the Attitude Era's Daniel Bryan.
Maybe Bret knows that the screw job's the thing that kept him relevant. That's why he keeps going back to it.
Could be.
Maybe Bret thinks if he doesn't, maybe Bret feels like he has to be better and talk about Triple H in the screw job. Maybe Bret thinks that's here. If I'm not willing to talk about Triple H in the screw job, then I'm not going. No, people won't want me for interviews and podcasts and that. Maybe that's what people want when they talk to Bret Hart. Maybe they want to know his thoughts about '97 and not.
No, but but think about it, right? See The Rock getting talked down to and bullied by the clique, so to speak. Did it weigh him down? No, look where he is today. And look where Bret is, still fucking moaning about something that happened 24 years ago.
Sad. I think Bret needs to grow up. Anyway, guys, I mean, that is it. At the end of the day, what happened? See, you think about it. What actually happened to Bret? McMahon got the timekeeper to ring the bell for a fictional fight, and he lost a fictional belt.
Oh.
I mean, this isn't.
But they knew that would piss him off.
Yeah, but I mean, see if they'd done the exact same thing to Kevin Nash. He'd probably just stand there, start laughing, and I reckon Kevin Nash would start laughing.
Can I applaud it? You got me.
I want an extra 10k in the check, Vincent, Mr. McMahon. But I mean, I don't think there's many wrestlers that would take it as bad as Bret Hart took it.
No.
So anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know what you think down below. I think Bret's full of hate, and it's sad. I think the guy needs to grow up and just forget about it, man. The past is the past. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy he gets into his 70s, he's 75, and he's still talking about, oh, I never thought Triple H had a match more than 4 out of 10, and like, just let it go. I mean, let it go. Anyway, till next
Some
time.
better matches with Austin than you did, you prick.
Peace.